Welcome to Dragonfly Trading. Hope everyone is doing well today. Today's video is going to be on Bitcoin and ETH. Let me know in the comments below what coin you are interested in, and I will do a video in the next 24 hours on that coin. So to start out, remember, this is not financial advice. This is just the way I intend to trade the market. In my last video, we were completing this flat correction here. And we were looking for a move down. Well, Bitcoin pulled a fast one and gave us just a little move down. And then it did this slow climb up here, which I have seen this many times. So I am an Elliott wave trader, and I'm going to try to make this as simple to understand as possible for the people that don't understand Elliott wave. There is multiple options here of the way that this could play out. But I wanted to give you an example of a flat and a drop and the way that it can slowly climb up like this. Here is an example. We had a three-wave move here, and then we had the flat. Same as this correction. Three-wave move, then we had the flat. Then we had the dump, and then we had the slow climb up, and then another correction. Well, what actually happened here and this is that it hit what we call the expanded B pocket, which is the 1.382 and the 1.236. So basically this correction turned into a bigger flat before it took off again. So basically it turned into an a B, and a C. So remembering this scenario here, we'll go back to where we're at now. So we had the three-wave move down, and then we had the flat, and then we have the correction, and now we have the slow climb up. Now there's two expanded B pockets that we need to look out for, and there's several ways that we can get there, and several ways that it can give us another correction down. So the first one is this blue fib that I've pulled. So basically, we continue to climb, and we hit the blue, and then we correct back down, giving us a flat. And then that is our connector for here, which would bring us up into this white expanded B, which is being pulled from the bigger correction. And then we make a bigger flat that ends up doing this. That is one scenario. I know it seems complicated, but there would eventually be an a B, and a C if this scenario happened. Bitcoin is not in the clearest scenario at the moment. What else could happen? Well, we could just continue to climb up into this B, and we never have this little correction here. So basically, we just keep going, push through these resistances, come up into this B, have a correction down, and it's still a flat scenario, and then we take off. So what do you do? Well, let me tell you what to look out for. So if we make it past this blue 1.618, so if you can't see that, that's 42,600. If we make it past there and we come up into this pocket, we need to make it past 47,600. Once we get past 47,600, the B scenario is invalid. So say the correction ended here, okay? And this is actually a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. That would be the bullish scenario. Once we get past this white 1.618, we are in the clear. I'm not particularly leaning this way, but I'm not going to rule it out. I'm not leaning that way because of the way that this is climbing and the way that this current wave here looks. But is this possible? Yes, it is possible. So going down, let's look at some indicators and see what they are telling us. So on the 4-hour time frame, and if you don't know what this indicator is, go to my website in the link below, and there is a free strategy video. This is my go-to indicator. As you can see quickly, we had multiple entries all along here. Every time this came out of the band and hit the 30, even these 50 ones, for the more experienced people, these were all entries, every single one of these, for a long. This was an entry for a short. This was an entry for a short. And this was an entry for a short. But you can get my free strategy and the link below, and it gets much more detailed about this indicator. This is the only one that I use now. I don't need anything else. So right now on the 4-hour time frame, we have, if this continues up and gives us another hit to the high up into this resistance, and this holds and doesn't come past this pivot, we will have bearish divergence. We don't really have it at this moment. We would need this to either come up and make a double top or come up and give us another higher high to confirm this 4-hour bearish divergence. It's really all there is to say about the 4-hour. Let's go up to the daily and take a look at that. So the daily has made it past the middle yellow MA here. and it's finding support on it. But you can see that this median line is pointing downwards. This middle line gives you the movement, the direction of the market. So as you can see, as it turns up, we're moving up. As it turns down, we're in a correction. As it turns up, we're moving up. And as it turns down, we're in a correction. So right here on the daily, we're still in a downward turn. But the bands are very wide. And this can either come back down and give us divergence, or it can continue up to the top of the band. I really can't give you what exactly it's going to do. But this was a signal here on the daily to go long. And you would still be in this trade. There would be no reason at this point to exit that trade on the daily time frame, unless it came back down and crossed this red signal line. At that point, I would definitely exit. Let's move down to the 1 hour. Kind of did this kind of backwards. On the 1 hour time frame, like I said on the 4 hour, I'm still in the pen. 1 second. Trying to get this where you can see it. Right now, if we continue up and we break this high, and we don't break this high with the RSI, we will have bearish divergence. But as it stands now, there's no bearish divergence to speak of. We're just kind of in no man's land. I have a fly, I'm sorry. So let's move back up to the 4 hour and see what else I can tell you about this correction. Which way am I leaning? Honestly, I am not leaning one way or the other, and I'm not afraid to say that. This could do either scenario. It could make a little flat correction here and continue on up. Give us the B scenario and come back down. It could give us the flat here. And then give us a connector to this leg. There's multiple options open at the moment with Bitcoin. I wish, honestly, that I had a more concrete direction to give you. But as you can see, back to just basic support and resistance, we've been bouncing around in between this support and resistance. We need to get above this red, up into this area. Then we need to break this one and find support on that. And then we need to get past and on up past this 1.618. Let's go over to ETH. As you can see, we were in this contracting wedge looking pattern. And we broke it to the upside. ETH has been a difficult one also. I'm not afraid to say that. I see a triangle here. which this is called a running triangle, and RSI supports it. Whenever you have a triangle or you're trying to draw a triangle, if you cannot draw the same triangle in RSI, it's not valid. Not that you can't draw the triangle and do the measurement of how far it will go if it breaks up to the upside or the downside. You can still do that. But for a valid Elliott wave triangle, you need to be able to draw it in the RSI also. And in this case, you can. So this triangle could be valid. And in the Elliott wave rules, a triangle can be in a fourth wave, a B wave, an X wave, and sometimes Y. Y is debatable. There's some people that don't think it can be in Y, and then there's some that do believe it can be in Y. How would this fit into here if this was an actual triangle? Well, if it's a B wave, then we have an A, a B, and a C to the upside. Which doesn't make a lot of sense to me at all. That just doesn't make sense to me. But I've seen people counting it that way, and I just wanted to go over it. If this was a W, and we're going to call this an X, there's no Y wave to speak of. So I'm not leaning towards this triangle. You can see right here that we do have, this is the resistance or the support now that we don't want to come back underneath. I don't want to see ETH come back underneath this yellow line. That just wouldn't be good, and we would be back down into this area that we were before. The best scenario would be for ETH to hold this trend line that we broke. So basically, make a flat here of some sort and continue on up for another wave. Then we get a correction and it continues on. One thing that I do see, because this count is very difficult, it did not come to a correct fib level. Like when you measure the wave, like if this was going to be a W, this was going to be an X, and then we needed our Y wave. W, X, well, there it is right there. I found it pretty much live here. W, I'm sorry, X, Y. This goes here. That could be it. This is a W, 3 waves. This is an X, 3 waves, and it gave us a truncated Y. The minimum requirements for Y needs to come to the 618. And it did hit the 618. So in that case, this is, or could be, the start of a new wave. But I want to see us hold this trend line. We absolutely, if this is going to be the start of a new wave, this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on up. We absolutely cannot break this level. Cannot break that level because We cannot come back into wave 1. So if we're going to call this the start of something new, and this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. This is probably making 4, 4, and 5 on up, which would be our wave 1. We cannot come back into this level. Right here. I don't want to see us come back into this would be the farthest I want to see us come into this fourth wave territory. Let's take a look at the indicators. I had one more idea I wanted to show. We could be, and this is just an idea, forming an ending diagonal. And this is something we need to watch out for. And it would be a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When would we know if this is invalid? If same thing, if we break that bottom. We don't want to break this bottom. Right here at 1268, and I'd really like to see us stay above 1460. Let me know in the comments if this video helped you. Let me know if you have a particular coin that you would like me to do TA on in the next 24 hours. And I hope everybody enjoyed this video, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day.